In the event that you're uncomfortable, you can keep your camera off. All right, so we're recording now. So I want to welcome you guys to the 22-23 school year. This is our very first general parent meeting. And for the last couple of years, we've had our general parent meetings on Zoom, and they are quite successful. So, hey, listen, if it's not broke, we're not going to fix it. So we're going to continue to have our parent meetings, our conferences all on Zoom. We collectively think that it's better suited for everyone. It's convenient for all. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for taking the time to speak with us tonight, to meet with us tonight. And thank you all for choosing St. Eugene to have us educate and love on your babies. All right. So with everything at St. Eugene, we'll start with prayer. Okay. So let's center ourselves as we get ready for this new school year, this beautiful school year. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of all life and longing, as we gather for the beginning of a new school year, we give thanks for this day and everything that has brought us here. We ask your blessing on our new and returning students and parents, and new and returning members of our faculty and staff. May our new family members feel welcomed and invited to share their gifts and talents with us. We ask your blessing on all who are here. May they feel renewed and ready for what this year will bring. Share with our whole school community the Holy Spirit that breathes your life into us and leaves us open to the ways of your wisdom so that we may become the people you want us to be. May Jesus, your Son, be the teacher who guides our searching and the bread that nourishes our hunger. We make this prayer in his name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, so tonight, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of the introductions of the faculty and staff at St. Eugene, give you the calendar updates for the remaining August and September, give you a little construction update. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you already know the updates because I post videos. So if you're not following us, you need to follow us because this is your school too. We'll talk about virtual learning and what that's going to look like beginning next week. COVID updates, our uniform policy for virtual learning and for when we return to in-person instruction, our new responsibility point system. It's not new to 8th grade, but it's new to everyone else. We'll talk about School Speak and the importance of you being actively involved on School Speak, and reminders. And if you have any questions, everyone is on mute. You do not have the functionality to unmute yourselves because it's a lot of you in here. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. It is being monitored. And after this meeting, we'll go through the chat to see if there are any questions that weren't answered, and we'll go ahead and answer those for you. So let's get started. All right, let's do these introductions. Well, I am Dr. Kingsby. I'm your principal at St. Eugene. This is my 23rd year at St. Eugene. I've been sitting in this role for 3 years, and prior to that, I was the assistant principal since 2004. I was the kinder, first, second, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth teacher at some point, starting in 2000. So I have a little history with St. Eugene. I kind of know the school. All right, we have our office manager. If you've been to the front office, you know this lady, and you know she actually is the one who runs the school. I do what she says. This is Ms. Valencia. This is her 13th year at St. Eugene. I actually think I messed up. I think it's her 16th year. She's gonna get me. So just tell her I told you it was her 16th year. She's the heart of the office. Anything you need regarding tuition, PE uniforms, CEF, she's your person to talk to. She's the guru of the office, okay? We want to welcome our transitional kindergarten teacher, Ms. Johnson. So Ms. Johnson is a St. Eugene alumna. She was at our school from kindergarten to 8th grade, went on to high school, went on to college on a full ride scholarship. Hello. She's coming back to us to serve as our TK teacher. This is her first year at St. Eugene as the teacher, but she'll also be working on her master's degree at USC. So when you see her, give her a little props. We're super proud of her. That's the whole thing about the community, is that they leave and they come back. And that's certainly what she did. And she also has two siblings who are at St. Eugene too. And then she has another sister who's going to college now. And she was there from TK to 8. Oh, by the way, they were valedictorians at St. Eugene and their high school too. So just a little plug there. All right, then we have Miss Thomas. She's our kindergarten teacher. Miss Thomas has been at St. Eugene for 24 years. She is St. Eugene. All right. She's also the parent liaison. So you want to make sure, we're going to talk about this communication device called Remind. And Ms. Thomas is the backbone to Remind for the entire school. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Then we have our first grade teacher, Miss Elam. She has been at St. Eugene for 8 years. This is her 8th year. She is also part of our leadership team. She just had a beautiful baby boy back in March, little baby Cash. You guys know because you guys just flooded her with tons of gifts when we had our drive-through baby shower at the school. So Miss Elam is joining us again, and we're so happy to have her. Then we have joining us for 2nd grade, Mrs. Smith. Now, although this is Mrs. Smith's first year at St. Eugene, she was there last year, you guys. She was the substitute teacher in 1st grade when Mrs. Elam was on maternity leave. So even though this is Ms. Smith's first year, she's not a stranger to St. Eugene. She knows her class that she's getting now. So she is actually a leg up, considering she's a 1st-year teacher. And she's also working on, she received her master's from Grand Canyon University. So when you see her, give her some props too. Then we have our 3rd grade teacher who's coming to us from the Placers. He actually graduated, got his master's degree too. So when you see him, give him some daps too. This is Mr. Mancia. This is his 3rd year at St. Eugene. He's also our religion coordinator, and he also just had a baby this past school year, and we also had a drive-through baby shower for him too. So when you see him, make sure to congratulate him on having his first baby. We have our 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Nelson, and this is her 4th year at St. Eugene. She's also our dance and drama coach, and boy, oh boy, do we rely on her for our events. And she doesn't know, but when we put on this play this year called Annie, she's doing it. We'll talk, Ms. Nelson, don't be mad. Then we have our 5th grade teacher, Mr. Powers. This is his 7th year at St. Eugene. However, Mr. Power prides himself on being like the pawpaw of the school. And Mr. Powers has been with the Archdiocese, I want to say for about, without sharing his age, like 30 years. So he has lots of experience in the Catholic realm, a wonderful go-to person to get the history of the Catholic schools. Then we have our middle school math teacher, Mr. Davis, who's also the 6th grade homeroom. He is also our dean of students, and this is his 15th year at St. Eugene. Mr. Davis is very unique in this craft because he's a math guru, but he also has a Juris Doctor. So we have an attorney on staff, so don't mess with us. Just kidding. Welcome, Mr. Davis. Then we have in middle school, our 7th grade homeroom, ELA and religion teacher, Mrs. Scott. Mrs. Scott is also our STEP coordinator, and this is her 5th year at St. Eugene. Mrs. Scott taught 2nd grade at St. Eugene, left for a spell, missed us so much that she came right back, and she's teaching middle school again this year. So we are super excited to have her back on our team. Just love her. I've known her since she was 5. I just love her. And then we have Mr. Taylor. I like to call him Tay-Tay. He's our middle school science and social studies teacher. He's also part of our leadership team. He's also the technology lead. He's also the athletic director. And this is his 9th year at St. Eugene. And you can understand why I cannot have him leave. He does a lot at our school. He's also the gardener at our school. He helps to keep our school clean. He's not officially the gardener, you guys. We have one, but Mr. Taylor loves to water the grass at the school. So we let him do it because that's his joy, okay? So that's Mr. Taylor. You will see him on Friday if you come to the school to pick up iPads. Mr. Taylor's the one to talk to. All right, then we have Coach Kelly. He teaches physical education, and he's also the primary aide for the primary building. This is his fourth year at St. Eugene, but he also went way above and beyond by serving as our COVID tester this last school year. That was a job in itself. And Coach Kelly stepped up to the plate and decided, I'll do it. I'll just do it. I'll just test the whole school. So he's our COVID resident COVID tester. So any questions about health, talk to Mr. Kelly. All right, then we have for Mrs. Wicker. She is our morning care supervisor and the primary aide. She has been at St. Eugene for 16 years, and we are super excited to have her back. She is the only person I know that can do morning care because she gets to the school at like 5 or 4. So who could do that? No one. So as long as Miss Wicker is willing to work there, we're gonna bring her on because I don't know anyone who can get up that early. All right. We have our lunch supervisor and daycare supervisor, Mrs. Caldwell. This is her 15th year at St. Eugene. She actually started as a parent. Her son is now 20, I think, but he went through St. Eugene K-8 and she stayed on, and now she works with us, and we're so blessed to have her. Our maintenance supervisor is Mrs. Stella. I believe this is her 6th year at St. Eugene, could be more, but she's wonderful. She's the one who helps to keep our school clean. And last year when we had to go through those COVID protocols, she did it by herself. And we were so grateful to have her on board. And she can play volleyball. So I'm gonna talk her into helping to assist the volleyball team. She's really great. And then we have our Spanish teacher. I could not find a photo. I went on Facebook. She doesn't have an account. I couldn't find her anywhere. Her name is Miss Valencia. She's actually little Valencia. She's Mrs. Valencia's granddaughter. And this will be her first year at St. Eugene. However, she's not a stranger to St. Eugene because a few years ago, she came on and assisted in the primary building. So she's not a stranger to our school. And so she's going to come on and serve as our Spanish teacher. And we're so blessed to have her. And she's also currently in a master's program. So, and then we have our dear Mrs. Avalie Clay McCoy. This woman is a veteran teacher. She's been teaching for many, many years, or she's taught for many, many years. She's also an amazing vocalist, and she has such a huge background in music theory. So when we wanted to put together this choir, she was the only person that I could think of to do this. Although she hasn't been on staff at St. Eugene, I say this is her 14th year there because she has a daughter who's currently at St. Eugene, and she has a 19-year-old who matriculated through St. Eugene too. So she's been around, and I've known her for many, many years. So having her join us to conduct the choir, oh, we're super blessed. It's gonna be on. All right, that's the faculty. I think I counted 17, 18 of us. We're a small school with small faculty, but we are so grateful to have you guys here. We're such a loving faculty. We all get along tremendously well. We fight like siblings and we love on each other like siblings. Actually, 2 of us actually are siblings. The calendar update. So on Friday, we have the iPad distribution from 8 to 1. Originally, it was supposed to be from 9 to 12, but I know quite a few of you guys have to be at work. So we tried to extend the time just a little bit. The construction team is allowing us grace to come to the school, to be outside, to pass out these iPads. So if your child needs one, then you would come and get it. But if they don't need it, it's not necessary. On the 15th, that is our first day of school. We'll talk about that. The 15th is also the first day of STAR window testing 1, which we will not begin while we're on virtual. We have a large window to take that test, so we'll take it later when we get back to school. On August 31st through September 2nd, we will have independent study, which I will talk about. September 5th is Labor Day. The 6th is our grand reopening. And I pray that if you're working, that you tell your supervisor or you tell your employees that you're going to be late because you're going to hang around to see the grand opening of St. Eugene. We are so excited. I'm tickled about this. The 14th, September 14th is a Wednesday. We will have virtual back to school. And that will be with your children's teachers. And we'll talk about that later. as the weeks progress, you'll get family bulletins from me, which will give you more detail about the back to school. The 16th, we our first casual dress. I know the students will be excited. They get to wear their own clothes for $2. The 20th is when our STAR testing window ends. 23rd is Disney Day. Talk about all these things later. And then on the 30th, our 8th graders will have their tie and blazer ceremony. So these are just the August, September calendar dates. All right, so let's talk about these construction updates. We are still on schedule to reopen on Tuesday the 6th. I was there yesterday recording. So much progress has been made at the school. It looks good, you guys. It's so bright in there. I'm so happy because our school was brown. It was dull. So this is wonderful. This is a $1.4 million project that was gifted to us by the Shea Foundation. And we are so humbled and grateful that they chose us to give all this this gift to. So what's happening with the 1.4 million? Well, they're giving us brand new floors, brand new windows, brand new cabinetry. They're painting the interior and exterior. We're getting a new playground. They've already put in the new gutters. We're getting storefront windows to replace those garage doors, and they're painting the exterior of the cafeteria and the hall. So this is what is happening at St. Eugene. And St. Eugene is a very old school. The school was built in 1948. And so it was beyond time to get some work done. So they came to the school and they were like, wow, this school is old. And I was like, you think? So they're doing this. They're giving us all this stuff. It's pretty. It's going to be so beautiful. The kids are going to love it. Which takes us to virtual learning. So school's going to start on Monday at 8:15 a.m. Please have your child in class on time. The Zoom links for each class will be on SchoolSpeak. I will post those Zoom links on Sunday morning. If your child needs an iPad, you come to the school on Friday. Mr. Taylor asked that if you need an iPad, post it in the chat. Just post your name and who your child is and their grade, because then that way he'll have all the contracts, because you have to sign a contract because you're taking it off the campus. He'll give you a contract to sign and the device. You will not get a charger, because our chargers are in our charging carts. We did not take them out. So we will give you the iPad, but you will be responsible to charge it yourself. For virtual learning, students need to wear a solid black or a solid white shirt. Okay, they don't have to wear their uniforms just yet. We want to keep them clean and crisp for our first day of school. So just make sure that they have on a solid black or a solid white shirt. Okay. Students will need a notebook and writing utensils. And for the primary grades, they need crayons and markers because they do not have any textbooks. So we're providing everything online for the children. So we just need them to have a notebook and some writing utensils for now. The school supply list is on our website, but for virtual learning, we just need the notebook and writing utensils. So what does the schedule look like? Well, for TK through 2, Monday through Thursday, they'll be in 8:15 to 2:30. Because they're small children, they will have 2 breaks, extended breaks and a lunch. And because TK and K rest, and first grade actually, they have rest periods. The teacher may find that if the students are falling asleep, that they'll maybe cut 15 minutes or so off the time, 15 to 20 minutes off the time, because those kids, our little ones, are used to resting because this is a long day for them. So to be online is also a long day for them. So if you see that happening, please understand and know that that's why. Grades 3 through 8, Monday through Thursday, are there from 8:15 to 3. They too will have 3 breaks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then they have their lunch. Again, because we're on Zoom and these are long days. Friday, everyone gets out at 12 because that is our dismissal time on Fridays. Generally, we get out at 12. Now, on Wednesday, August 31st through Friday, September 2nd, your children will receive 3 days, 2.5 days worth of work, because Friday is a noon dismissal, that they will have to complete independently. The reason being is we have to move back into the school. Now, when we moved out of the school, our entire school community was there to help us move out. So we were able to get all of that done in one day. Well, the construction company will not allow our parents and our students on campus because technically it is still considered a construction site and it is a liability, and you guys are not covered. So you cannot be on campus Wednesday through Friday. So with that being said, the teachers have to move the entire school back in by themselves. And so we need time so that we can be ready for our opening on the 6th. Now, the 31st through the 2nd, will serve as, those are school days. We counted those as school days because we will give your children enough material to cover, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that they aren't able to handle independently. But the teachers do expect for them to get that work completed to submit it to them when we return to school on Tuesday for our grand opening, okay? All right, let's talk about these COVID updates. I just knew when we left for the school year, I was okay, this is run on long enough. The summer's gonna be cool. When we get back to school, it's gonna be just breezy. Okay, I was wrong. There's a letter from our deputy superintendent, Mr. Paul Escala. I've already posted it on School Speak. It's for you. Please read it. I'm asking you, the faculty at St. Eugene are all asking you, parents are asking one another to please have your child tested prior to coming to school on the 6th. 1 to 2 days prior to testing, please test them before coming to school on the 6th, just so that we're clear and everyone comes to school nice and negative, nice and healthy, and that we're not passing anything along. Right now, masking indoors is strongly recommended. They removed that mandate. We strongly recommend that the children continue to wear their masks indoors. We can't mandate it, but we strongly recommend that they do that because, you know, they don't sit that far from one another. So, you know, that was a little disappointing for me, but we just ask you, pretty please, let us make your child wear their mask, okay? The lab that we were using last year, Sierra Lab, they're no longer providing COVID testing for free. We had a whole year's worth of testing for free. Now they're asking for parents to submit their health insurance cards or pay $150 testing fee. And I believe I did well when I spoke for our family and said, we're not paying $150 a week for COVID testing. So unless we are able to secure a laboratory that offers free testing weekly, we will only give out rapid tests to students who exhibit symptoms and to students who've been exposed to COVID. So the way we tested last year every Tuesday, unless we get a lab that is willing to test us for free, we will only test students who have COVID symptoms or have been exposed to COVID. There really is no quarantining anymore if someone's exposed, especially if they're vaccinated. Read that letter. That letter from Mr. Escala explains a lot of it. Okay. All right, let's talk about the uniform policy. So for virtual learning, again, white or black t-shirt, we're good. When we come back to school on September 6th, there are no options for uniforms. Students can only wear St. Eugene regulated school clothes that are purchased from Cambridge Uniform on Market Street, okay? That includes the pants. Our pants are khaki. When students wear a pant from JCPenney's or Macy's, you can tell they're not the Cambridge pants because they're not the same color. Now, if you're able to find identical pants that color, tell me where so I can add that to our uniform list. Until then, we're only to purchase our uniforms from Cambridge on Market Street. When you go to Cambridge, you just tell them your school and your child's grade, and they will provide you with everything. They know what our uniform is. That includes jackets. That includes sweaters. I love Nike. I love jean jackets. I love Adidas, but those are not St. Eugene regulated uniforms. Your child has to be in the St. Eugene regulated sweater, St. Eugene regulated jacket, And any uniform PE clothes, they all have to be St. Eugene regulated. Failure to dress in school regulated attire is going to result in a loss of responsibility points, which I'll talk about in a bit. If it's a continuum where they're continuously out of uniform, then we're going to have a conversation about what other consequences there are, because last year there were way too many students wearing way too many items that were not St. Eugene affiliated. And I love to wear clothes too, all different types of clothes, but we're a private school for a reason. And part of the private school is dress. It's part of uniform. That's part of the Catholic school identity. So your child has to be in St. Eugene Catholic school attire. No questions asked. All right, this is the responsibility system. So the way it's set up is you can look, every child has 1,000 points. They will receive 1,000 points at the beginning of the school year. And for every violation that they make, as you can see, they lose points. Well, those points comes with incentives. If you look at the lower left, you'll see a box where it says 900 Harvest Festival, 800 Christmas Festival. So we have these activities that we have at our school, but if your child doesn't have that number of points, they cannot participate. The only way they cannot participate is by losing points. The only way they can lose points is by not following any of those rules at the top. If they're missing their homework, they lose points. Out of uniform, lose points. If their desk is a mess, lose points. Gum chewing, detention, missing projects, confrontations, anything that is not behavior that we support, your child will lose points for. Now, if you also look on here, you'll see what's called a behavior restoration form and a student slip. So when the student is in violation, they lose points. Can they earn those points back? Certainly. How? Well, they have to talk about what they did. Why did they lose points? What was the misbehavior? And what can they do to be better? And then they meet with me to talk about what we can do to support them so that they will be better. And then we'll put them on a plan. And at the end of that plan, however many weeks or days it is, we'll see if they were successful and we'll reinstate their points. If not, they don't get their points back. The point of the responsibility system is so that our children will be responsible, that they'll do what it is that we expect for them to do. And we know they're children, so we know that they're gonna fail sometimes, but that's where the restoration plan comes in, because we know we'll fail sometimes, but we want to have that opportunity to right our wrong. So we're going to give them the opportunity to right their wrong, but if they continuously do it, they lose the points. Okay, so that we're going to start this. So parents, you will be getting these responsibilities sheets often. You have to make sure that you work with us to ask for those responsibility point sheets so that you'll know what's going on with your child and how many points they have. Mrs. Scott had mentioned for me to create some type of spreadsheet to do that. So I'm going to actually get with her so we can put this spreadsheet together so we don't have to waste so much paper and so that you can see the responsibility points of your child. Okay. Now, School Speak. School Speak is our school management system, which contains the announcements, calendar updates, progress reports, report cards, and your children's grades. You have to be on School Speak. If you are not on School Speak, you need to email me tonight and say, hey, I'm not on School Speak. Because when I send out emails, they come from School Speak. I send out mass emails with the family bulletins. They come directly from School Speak. Any correspondence that you've received from me the last few weeks came from School Speak. So if you're not on School Speak, you are missing out on important information. You need to be on School Speak. Okay. If you're not, make sure you email me tonight. Say, hey, I'm not on School Speak, or I'm on School Speak, but I forgot my login credentials, and then I'll just send them to you. Okay. And make sure we have your emails accurate, because a lot of times the emails are written and sometimes T's they look like L's, and sometimes zeros. I don't know what they can be O's. So just make sure we have your correct email address. All right. And then here's some reminders. So our parent and student handbook is available on the website at steugene.net. What you would do is you would go to the parent tab, click on that. You'll see it'll have a drop-down menu, handbook and forms, click on that, and then you'll see parent handbook at the top. It's updated. I need you to read it. I need you to pay special attention to section 31, which specifically talks about the cell phones, because cell phones really aren't allowed at school. So when we see students with their cell phones during school time, we're going to take them. In the morning, if your child must have a cell phone, we need to collect it. We collect it and we give it back to them at the end of the day. If they have their cell phone throughout the day, we're gonna confiscate it, and then you will have to come and get it. Okay. So make sure you read the blurb in the handbook, section 31, on the cell phones, because these cell phones have been a distraction, because kids have been texting each other in class, in the bathroom, saying, come downstairs. And we don't want that anymore. It's such a distraction it disrupts the learning environment. So, because, they're all on TikTok and making videos, and we can't have that happen at school. This is a learning environment. This isn't a stage for them to put on a show on TikTok. Make sure you check your emails every Sunday. I used to give you the family bulletins on Monday. I'm going to start giving them to you on Sunday, so that you have them before the actual day of the week starts for school. Make sure you visit School Speak weekly for announcements and updates. Make sure you sign up for your child's teacher's Remind. So Remind is a communication vessel that we use. It's an app on your phone. The teachers are going to post their links on School Speak. I will also post them on School Speak for you. If I don't see them on the teacher's page, I'll make sure to get them to you, because Remind will keep you in constant contact with your child's teacher. Okay, that will be your communication format with your teachers. And teachers post things on the Remind, like homework, reminders, for the calendar, anything that's going on in their classroom. If they're having a party for Christmas or Thanksgiving, they post all those things on Remind. So make sure you're signed up for Remind if you're not. So you'll have 2 Remind accounts. One will be for your child's class, and one will be for the entire school. That's sort of like the PTO one. Ms. Thomas runs that one. And if you have more than one child, then you would have a Remind account for each of your children's teacher. Okay. School starts on Monday. So make sure your child is registered for school, because if they're not registered, they're not on the roster. We have our last year's children on the roster, but if they haven't registered, they're asterisked, and they will not be allowed in the classroom on Monday if they're not registered. So make sure your child is registered. If all you need to do is pay the registration fee, you could do that via Zelle, or you can come to the school on Friday when we're handing out iPads. You can come to the school on Friday and pay your registration and get your baby all set up for school on Monday. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we're going to look in whoa, there are a billion messages in the chat. So we're going to go through the chat. I will unmute. There's still a bunch of you guys in here. So I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do. Let me just go through the questions first and see if I can answer them. Yeah, iPads are optional. If your child already has an iPad or a laptop, please use that instead. But if your child needs an iPad, then yeah, definitely come to the school on Friday to get one. Oh, I'm seeing everyone is just needing iPads. Okay. Thank you all for putting your names, your child's grades. Welcome back to a lot of you. For online 5th grade students, only need paper and pencil just for the time we're on Zoom. The time we're doing virtual instruction, when we come back to school, we have books. They will be given their textbooks. Okay. Still going through. These are just iPads. The monkeypox vaccine, I have not received any information regarding that vaccine, and they still haven't made the COVID vaccine mandatory yet for our archdiocese. So once I have information like that, I will give it right to you. Okay. The packages for independent study, the teachers will load them. So all of your children will either be on Seesaw for the primary grades or Google Classroom. So for that independent study, the work will be posted on Google Classroom or Seesaw, whichever software site your child is using. What happens if the parent opts out of the mask for their child? Nothing happens. They just don't wear a mask. That's completely up to you. If you provide the health insurance info, the Sierra Lab they have to have a specific number of families to come. They won't just come for one. So unless there's a large majority of us that are willing to give our health insurance information, then they won't come to the school, not for just a handful of children. PE uniforms, you can pick them up when we return back on the 6th. Someone said the school pants are on Amazon. Oh, Ms. Colson, can you email me privately the link so I can see them? I think what it is that we wear khaki pants, so khaki gets dirty easily. We used to be gray. Gray gets dirty easily. Navy blue fades fast, and black fades fast. So we're at a catch-22. So khaki's cute. So we're gonna stick with khaki. We're gonna eventually transition into khaki pants or gray pants, but that hasn't quite happened yet. The PE uniforms, Ms. Valencia did make the order. I'm not sure if the order has come in yet. We have to check back when we go back to in-person on the 6th. Okay. The PE uniforms are available at the school. The uniform pants from Target. Target doesn't sell our uniform pants. I'd have to see them, but our uniform pants aren't available at Target. What if my kid gets mad at me for the uniform? No, then they have to be mad with the uniform. That's not optional. The uniform's not optional. Oh, I'm sorry, Elam, let me unmute you. Yes, you can unmute Elam. Oh, wait, you can't. Hold on. Okay. Elam, unmute yourself.
Just read through a few of the questions before you answer them. It appears that there may be a child playing in the chat.
Are you kidding me? Welcome to school. Wow. Free dress. Free dress. Yeah, so we'll have free dress once monthly. It's on the calendar. Look on the school calendar right now. It has all the free dress dates on there. We'll start PE we're actually going to start PE next week virtually. They don't have to have anything, obviously. But when we come back to school, we'll start PE again. It won't be your fault. There's nothing you can do to control when the uniform order will come in. So when the order comes in, I'll let you know, and then you can start purchasing those. So the point system, once we start school and get the point system up and running, you will receive correspondence regarding your child's weekly points. We'll likely give your child a number and have just a large data sheet, and it'll have your child's points on their weekly. Okay. The iPad is the iPad is for Zoom, and depending on the grade of your child, they may be going on to Google Classroom or Seesaw. So the clothes under the uniform, it becomes overwhelming because kids start wearing checkered clothes and pink clothes and blue clothes under the uniform. So we're hoping that we could just stay with the uniform only. If they want to wear pants, they should buy the sweats. Thank you. Davis Mason has a lot of uniforms to donate. So we'll be there Friday if you want to jump them off on Friday. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll bring them on Friday.
Thank
I got
you.
shirts, PE, uniforms, sweaters, and pants.
Thank you
That's
so
in a
very
bag in my garage. I will bring them all on Friday. Happily.
awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You'll know you're on School Speak because you would have received a welcome email from School Speak. So if you didn't receive that, you want to make sure you email me to let me know I didn't get the welcome so I can send it to you. And that way you can get your login credentials. Karaya's mom, make sure you email me that. Email that to me and so I can just throw it right back at you for the School Speak. Thank you, Ms. Elon. Look like you covered a bunch of this. Again, the school books will be available when we start school on the 6th. Oh, never mind. Just answer the question. Okay. You can bring the school supplies to school on the 6th when your child comes. Middle school will have lockers, and the rest of this, each class has their own way of keeping the materials. I think they keep like little cubby boxes, but your child's teacher will give you more information on that. So for the agendas, each teacher will provide you with an agenda for this, the daily schedule. So they will be either posting that on Remind or posting it on School Speak. So for 8th grade service hours, Mr. Taylor will talk to the 8th graders on Monday about those service hours because I know a lot of the 8th graders completed them. So he'll be talking to them about completing those forms. I'm pretty sure he can just pop them up on Google Classroom and you guys can get them from there. Confirming that you will get your child's Zoom link on Sunday for a class on Monday. We will have sports this year. Yes, the meeting will be uploaded to YouTube. Yes, if your baby's registering for TK, please bring the immunization records. Shoes are all black shoe. Mrs. Wilson will get in touch with us regarding the PTO meetings. They're normally on Thursdays. And once she gives me all the dates, I'll put them on our calendar. No, for the grand reopening, we'll be outdoors. So you don't have to take a COVID test, but again, strongly ask you to wear a mask, but can't make you, but we just ask you if you can. Yes, Ms. Moore, the graduation is June 9th. Phones in the backpacks, not really, because the way their backpacks are stored, it's just better to give them to the teachers to have so the teachers can log their phones in their cell phone lockers. Otherwise, it could become a distraction for the child. Also, please don't have your child wear the Apple Watches because they serve the same functions as phones. So the teachers will let you know. It's the Seesaw is for grades TK to 5, and Google Classroom is middle school. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, donating uniforms, sizes 10 to 12. We'll be there Friday if you can make it. The teachers will be communicating and introducing themselves on our back to school night, which is September 14th on Zoom. You will enter your child's teacher's Zoom. It'll be just that teacher and her parents, his or her parents, and that's when he or she will do the introductions at our back to school night. Sports and extracurricular, yes. I'll post my email at the bottom. Elam, can you just write my email really quickly at the bottom? Yes, that is the link for school supplies. Students can bring their own lunch. The menus will be posted on SchoolSpeak monthly. Right now, there is no lunch program because we won't be back till the 6th. So closer to that day, when I receive the lunch menu from Better Healthy Foods, I believe it's called, I'll post it on SchoolSpeak. The students are very welcome to bring their own lunch, okay? All Black shoe. Cheerleading is coming back. Miss Johnson is going to serve as our cheer coach. She's an expert in cheer. Her mother is like the cheer captain, the cheer coach of the universe. So yes, cheer is coming back strong. Step is not coming back unless we can find a step coach. Our step coach graduated and she didn't come back. We cannot parents can't be on the school to help us move back. It's a liability. So I wish you could, but you can't. No, Miss Monique's is not coming back unless she contacts me to express an interest. I think COVID kind of shifted her in another direction. No, they have to wear the shirts with the school logo. Dark blue shoes are not okay. All Black shoe. Go to the parent handbook and read the blurb on the uniform policy, and it tells you exactly what your child can and cannot wear. I'm sorry. It'll tell you exactly what your child can and cannot wear as part of the uniform. So far, we do not have a gymnastics program. Tutoring starts when we return back in person. Mr. Davis is the Dean of Students for grades 3 through 8. And then Coach Kelly and I will be handling TK to 2. Mr. Taylor can talk more about the sports program that we will be having. We're part of CYO. I know that includes basketball and volleyball, basketball for boys and girls and volleyball. And then we have intramural kickball at our school. And then we have cheer. And then we have dance with Miss Nelson. Yes, once the school year starts, we will give you information about cheer. No baseball. All right, there were a couple questions. And I think the parents that asked the TK parent about the extension, and then the other parent that asked about the full day independent study, you guys can I need you to email me personally or stay on after this meeting so we can have a conversation about that, because that's very specific to you guys. For the rest of you, if you have no pressing questions, it's a pleasure. I'm excited about this school year. I cannot keep reiterating that. On September 6th, I pray I see all of you at our grand reopening so we can go into this beautiful school together. Thank you so much for choosing us, even though our first 3 weeks of school are a little tricky because they're virtual. You still have the faith in us to bring your kids and ride this ride with us. we're so grateful for you guys, and I just can't thank you enough. And this year, I think we're getting more kids than we've had in a very, very long time. So a lot of you guys have been spreading the word about St. Eugene. And I thank you so much, because just about everyone that's come to me said, I heard about your school. I heard. And so it's word of mouth. So, oh, thank you so much. That makes us feel good.
Will there be tutoring? Will you guys provide tutoring?
Yeah, so we have one-on-one tutoring who will come to the school. They came last year. The only thing with one-on-one, your child has to take a class assessment, and then we use their STAR testing assessment, and they have to actually qualify for it. Most of the kids that we recommend for tutoring qualify, and then we also have our teachers who engage in tutoring after school. The teachers donate an hour week, so in each department there will be a teacher available for tutoring. So
Okay.
and then we I think I was approved for an additional tutoring service. I haven't heard from them yet. I feel like we're approved because it seems like we get approved for a lot of stuff. Just about everything we apply for, we get approved. So I'm speaking into existence that we're going to get approved for this additional tutoring, this intervention program. So hopefully that comes into fruition. So we'll have 3 methods of, extra support for the kids. Okay. Anyone else?
I just had a quick clarifying question regarding the syllabus. When I go on, I'm not sure if that part was skipped over when you answered the questions, but when I go to Remind or School Speak, I can't remember which one, it shows 3 different syllabi. And for 6th grade, they all seem to be previous teachers.
Oh, you know what? Then what happened was when those were posted, we didn't give an expiration date because the new syllabus for 6th grade hasn't been posted yet. So yeah, those are old. Everything that we have will be posted on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. It must not have had an expiration. Normally when we post, we're able to create an expiration date for it, and we must not have put June 2022. So,
yeah, yeah, no worries. I didn't look at the dates. I looked at the teachers' names and I didn't recognize any of those teachers' names. So I'm like, this must not be up to date.
Oh, what teachers was it? Scroggins?
It showed Scroggins, Taylor. I think it even showed a syllabus for you.
Okay, yeah, those are extremely old. Those have no expiration. What? First of all, I haven't taught for 3 years. Why is that still on? Let me go in there and clean that up. I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. Okay, I'll look for it on Sunday then.
Okay, thank you. Have a question? Just unmute yourselves. You guys have the functionality.
Hi, Miss Kingsby. This is Trinity's mom.
Hey.
I was just checking to see for the awards from last year. Do I get that from Miss Nelson or her new teacher?
They would either be, if she doesn't have them, they would be in the office, but you would get them when we come back on the 6th, okay?
Okay. And then for
I
fees,
think I left them with Miss Valencia. I think they're in the office.
Okay, thank you. And then also we can bring money to you guys when we pick up the iPads.
Yep, you sure can.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hi, baby Thomas. I see Mr. Macias holding baby Thomas. Hold him up so we can all see him and say hi. Look at the baby. Hi, the cutie. Okay. Let's see, going back to, if you guys don't have any questions for me, have a great night. I'm just going to keep going through the chat room because I see there's more questions. Yes, the meeting, I'm going to put it on our YouTube page. Praying in agreement too. Yes, ma'am. And so the chess, whoever's asking about the chess program, listen, yeah, we are going to have a drama department, but the chess program, a few of our, well, they were our 5th graders last year. They came to me and asked if they could have a chess club. Any club that we don't have, as long as the student has a teacher as a sponsor, and they tell us what this team is, what they plan to do with it. Then they get the sponsor. Yes, definitely, we support it. And so some of the fifth graders came to me and asked if they could start a chess club. And I said, yes, and I will sponsor it because I actually don't know how to play chess very well, but the students know how. So I was like, we can learn together. So they made a poster and that was it. So it never really got off the ground. So I'm hoping that same group of now sixth graders will come back to me saying, well, actually, I'm gonna go to them and say, what happened with the chess club? So yeah, when students have an idea to bring a club to the school, as long as it's an appropriate club and they get the sponsorship from the teacher, from someone, a faculty on staff, then sure, they can have a club.
Dr. Kingsby, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
This is Zoe's mom. How you doing?
Hey, I was gonna email you. Uh-huh.
I know. But on the side note,
Yes.
for not a lapse, can I call to make a payment, or do I have to come down Monday to make a payment?
You can call. That's fine.
Okay, and
Yep.
then you can call me when call me.
I will. Miss Elam told me, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. I was like, that's breaking my heart.
I know. Well, we're not. That's why I call me, because I'm always here.
Yeah.
All the students here.
Okay. Yeah, the breaks for the children. When I give you the bulletin on Sunday, I will have the schedule broken down in that bulletin for TK to 8 when they go to their first recess, their lunch, and their afternoon break. Yes, I will have all of that in the family bulletin that you guys will receive on Sunday. Okay. After school care is definitely available once we go back to school, and so is morning care. And it's on an as needed basis. It's $10 a visit, a drop. So if you don't need it consistently, yeah, you could do a drop in, no problem. The class codes for Remind will be posted on SchoolSpeak. Masks are highly recommended, not required, but highly recommended. Yes, Ms. Valencia will accept those. Ms. Valencia will accept the morning and afternoon care forms. I will accept them too if you want to email them to me, no problem.
Dr. Kingsby?
Hey.
Sorry.
No, you're
hey. I just wanted to know, is there going to be computer lab this year? I always struggle with this technology fee. I have no problem with paying it. I just want to know what the funds are used for specifically.
So the technology fee is not specifically for the devices, it's for the internet use of the devices, it's for the STAR testing. All of that, because it's done on the computer, that's what that fee goes toward. We don't have.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know we don't have a computer lab because we've had this conversation for years over years.
Just come to me anytime you have questions about what is this for. Just ask me. I know what it's for. It's for the STAR testing specifically. No problem.
And then I also wanted to have fans. Will they be fans in the classroom? I know it gets hot. I know the windows will now open, thank God. But I want ventilation. So are fans something that we will have, or can I?
They're actually installed. They installed. I didn't put that on the bid that we have. Yeah, there are fans in every classroom now.
Awesome, thank you.
And each teacher has what's it called? I think it's called an HVAC. It's the air filtration box. Each teacher has one in their classroom too, so it'll rotate the air too.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Aren't the ceiling, wait, Miss Smith, did you see the fans? You said beautiful ceiling fans, and I agree.
Yes. Victoria's mom, I'm right down the street, so I saw the fans.
They are pretty, aren't they?
Yeah. I saw one as well, which is what caught my attention, because I'm like, they all need these beautiful fans. What do we do to make that happen? So awesome.
Yeah. There's fans in every classroom now. And the only reason why we couldn't get air conditioning is because, again, the school was built in 1948. That's a whole different project in itself. They were like, no on the air conditioning, but yes on the fans. So, yeah.
I have a question, Dr. Kingsby. For the middle school lockers, do they have the lock on it, or do we need to provide a lock?
You provide a lock, but if you provide the lock with the code, we need the code. And if you provide a lock with a key, we need an extra key. And the lockers will be for 6th through 8th. All right. I see no more questions. Yeah, the after school care forms, yeah, you can get them on Friday when we're at the school.
What time is the school open? From what time to what time?
On Friday, we'll be there from 8 to 1.
Okay, thank
Ms.
you.
Valencia will probably get there around 8:30, but I'll certainly be there. And Mr. Taylor will be there so we can start the distribution of iPads. Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for the link for Chess Train. I'm going to give it to, it was Layla Beasley who started this. I'm going to give it to her and say, Layla, here, go on this website and get us started. No, I'll work with her.
Sorry, for when we come on Friday, we're coming to pick up what, iPads if we need them? That's it?
That's it. So if you don't need the iPad, you don't need to come.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come to drop off the uniforms.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Thank you. All right. All right, family. Well, it's 6 o'clock. Our meetings usually last an hour. So we did good. It's an hour. So have a wonderful night. If you have any questions, again, my email is in the chat, but it's ckingsby@steugene.net. It's all over the place. It's on the school website. It's on School Speak. So you can get in touch with me. Thank you guys so much again. Have a wonderful night. God bless.